Hey, this is Michael Brent Collings. I'm the author of GRIMMWORLD, The Witch in the Woods, and I'll be reading a page a day with my real, not at all paid actor kids. Say hi, real kids.
Hi.
We're going to be doing this a page a day until it goes viral. I reach 100 pages or I get tired, whichever comes first. So please don't forget to share, like, comment, all that stuff, and help us go viral for GRIMMWORLD, The Witch in the Woods, which releases March 5th, 2024. Willow thought for a moment that the world was ending. One moment they were driving along just fine. The next there was a loud bang somewhere behind her, and then Dad was shouting and whipping the steering wheel around, and Mom screamed at everyone to hold on. The moment after that they were on the side of the freeway, the back tire completely flat with cars zooming past and honking furiously. Dad called a special number he had been given by the tank. "Can't you just change the tire yourself?" said Willow. The tires are special, made only in New Marburg, and can only be changed with specialized equipment, said Dad. Jake frowned and said, "That doesn't make any sense." Just as Willow said, "Then call a tow truck." Dad shrugged, then turned his attention to the phone, giving whoever was on the other end directions to where they were. When he hung up, Jake asked again, why don't we play 20 questions? Asked Mom, in a tone the kids had heard a lot of late, particularly whenever either of them asked for specifics about where they were moving. Dad made a pun, or Mom changed the subject, like she was doing now. Willow looked at Jake with an expression that asked, "Should I push it?" And Jake shrugged in a way that said, "Why bother? Mom and Dad never tell us anything." "Is it bigger than a bread box?" asked Dad. "No," said Mom. She waited expectantly. Willow sighed. "Is it alive?" "No." Mom clapped her hands, still trying too hard to convince everyone that this was an awesome move and not the end of all life as the kids knew it. Just as they finished the first round, Mom had been thinking of an actual bread box. A long semi-truck drove up and parked on the side of the freeway, right behind the Grimm's car. A man dressed in a black suit climbed out, then walked to the car and knocked on Dad's window. Dad and Mom got out of the car and talked to the man. A moment later, Dad popped the trunk and the three adults grabbed the bags full of extra snacks and games they had brought for the trip, along with the suitcase that held a change of clothes for everyone, plus toiletries. "In case we get delayed," Mom had said. The adults disappeared around the back of the semi-truck. Then Mom came back. She opened Jake's door. "Everyone out. Willow, climb out on this side as well. I don't want you getting flattened by traffic." The kids followed Mom toward the semi-truck when Willow stopped and grabbed Jake's arm. The back tire of their car looked shredded. Something glinted in the sun, and when Willow looked closer, she saw what looked like the chipped end of a dark blade stuck through the rubber. Willow gestured to Jake. He nodded. He had seen it too. "The strange robe suit guy," said Willow. I thought he had a laser blaster, but then..." She shook her head. "Then it looked like it turned into a knife?" Jake finished. I don't know what's going on. But if he did that," he pointed to the blade in the tire, "then how come the tire is just now blowing out? How come..." "Kids!" Mom hollered in her "Get moving, I mean it" voice. They hustled around the side of the semi and found the trailer open, a pair of ramps leading from it to the ground. A car was parked by the ramps. "Is that our exact same car?" said Jake, thunderstruck. "Cool, huh?" said Dad. He clapped Jake's shoulder. "I told you this would be an adventure." "Everyone in," said Mom, waving her hands at the family like they were cats to be herded. They got in the car. This time Mom was driving. "Did either of you see the knife in the tire?" Jake asked his parents. But as before, with the strange moving, stranger talking, strangest man in the weird coat, Mom and Dad ignored the question. They also ignored Willow when she said, "Why won't you guys talk to us about the guy who attacked Jake? You freaked out when Randall Stimp called him names and bullied him, so why..." "It's okay, Willow," said Jake quietly. looking embarrassed. "No, it's not," Willow hissed. "What's wrong with—" "Hey," Dad said suddenly, "I sure hope that we don't get another flat, because Mom has to stay awake while she drives, and when you have to deal with a pair of flats, it makes you too tired. Get it?" The weather in Los Angeles had been cool when they left, getting close to what Mom called sweater weather, even though Willow usually played outside in just shorts and t-shirts. But now, on the second day of their trip, they had stopped at a motel the night before. The world she passed through got grayer. The light faded to something not quite dark, but definitely dim. Thick velvet clouds hung in the sky, and snow, a thing of legend in sunny California, occasionally could be seen lurking in last night's shadows. The plants and animals changed too. Gray grass and palm trees, clinging to life in concrete-covered soil, gave way to a nature clearly in control. The trees became taller, thicker, and straighter. Some had egg-shaped leaves wide enough to catch the snow when it arrived in force, but most had needles of green so dark and rich they looked unreal to the two Grimms in the back seat. A deer bounded between the tall trees on the side of the road, and everyone oohed and awed. Mom said it was lovely, just lovely. And Dad was so amazed he didn't make a single pun. A bit later, Jake yelped. "What did you see?" Willow asked, worried it might be an old man with a strange coat and gold eyes. Jake shivered. "I think it was a wolf." "Not a grizzly?" asked Dad. "Not a grizzly." "Good," said Dad, because Mom saved them from whatever pun Dad had been about to deliver by pretending to lock his lips with an invisible key. "Who's excited to sleep in our new house?" "Me!" shouted Jake and Willow. "How long till we get there?" asked Jake. "Probably around 7 or 8 tonight," said Mom. "Ugh," said Jake, "that's forever." "Only if you measure time according to this universe," said Dad. "What's that supposed to mean?" asked Jake. "Honey," said Mom, a strange note of warning in her tone. "It's okay," Dad told her. "I know the rules. I won't mention details." There had been a lot of talk like that in recent weeks. Apparently, the reason no one could find anything about New Marburg or the tank was that the work being done there was not just cutting edge, but actually top secret. Mom and Dad had always talked about their jobs. Dad's latest discoveries into the quantum realm, Mom's newest inventions. But the closer they got to the move, the more tight-lipped they became. Until now. Dad looked like he was bursting to say something. "Do you know what inflationary cosmology is?" Dad said. Jake nodded, visibly excited. Jake could be such a nerd. But Willow loved that about her brother. "It's a branch of scientific ideas covering the moments after the Big Bang," he said, "when matter expanded and spread out, creating the galaxies and solar system we see today." "Correct," said Dad. "Sort of." "Sort of?" said Jake. "Sort of. Because it wasn't just matter. It was everything."